guaranteed cut. And Brianna Turner is someone who has started almost every game in her career till last year.
Angel Reese was not having it. The moment Brianna Turner ditched Chicago for Indiana and teamed up with Caitlin Clark, Reese went full main character mode. "Oh, so this what we doing now?" she joked, side-eyeing the camera. "Guess loyalty expired like milk." WNBA drama? Served hot. And Reese is cooking.
So, in a kind of a surprising turn of events, the Indiana Fever have made yet another move this offseason, and they have signed Bree Turner to the roster.
Angel Reese saw the news and had one word: wow. Just wow. First, it was A'ja Wilson watching the Fever stack up talent like they were building an Avengers squad. And now Reese had to deal with it too? Brianna Turner leaving Chicago to team up with Caitlin Clark was the latest plot twist in the WNBA's most dramatic offseason yet. However, Brianna Turner is excited for this new chapter message like she hadn't just sent the league into a frenzy. Indiana Fever players were already hyped, welcoming her like she was the missing puzzle piece to their super team ambitions. Aaliyah Boston, ever the peacemaker, simply tweeted, "Let's hoop!" as if that would calm anyone down. Spoiler alert, it did not.
Well, someone who actually broke this story, she said Brianna Turner has signed with the Indiana Fever per the WNBA transition page. Some depth for the Fever front court. Brianna Turner signed a contract with the Fever. Somebody said, so does this mean it's not a training camp? Somebody said, yes, it's basics.
The WNBA isn't just growing, it's turning into a full-blown reality show, only with elite athletes and actual stakes. And if Indiana Fever keeps pulling moves like this, Angel Reese might just have to start recruiting a super team of her own. Angel Reese had every right to feel some type of way. Brianna Turner really looked at Chicago, looked at Indiana, and said, "Yeah, I'm a head out." And for what? To go help Caitlin Clark and the Fever build their Monstars lineup? The audacity.
Fever, it is funny that all these people who hated the Indiana Fever last year is finally coming around to sign with the team. Go figure. Now, I don't know the whole initial thing about this signing, maybe for depth, defensive purposes, but it is funny to see how what a year make when the Indiana Fever is one of the, not one, but is the top team in the WNBA.
Meanwhile, Chicago Sky fans were left staring at their roster like it was an unfinished group project. So, who we got? Because at this rate, it was looking like Angel Reese and a handful of vibes. Sure, they still had Marina Mabrey and Dana Evans, but the reality was hitting hard. They didn't even make the playoffs last year. And now, somehow, they were supposed to believe that rolling out the same core, minus Turner, was going to change anything? Chicago's front office kept reassuring fans. We're building, we're patient. But patient doesn't stop Indiana from collecting talent like Pokemon cards. And let's be honest, patience is a lot easier when your rival isn't forming a super team right before your eyes. Angel Reese, though? She wasn't about to let anyone count Chicago out. "I love it here, and we're gonna be just fine," she said, doubling down on her loyalty. But let's keep it real. Fine didn't get them anywhere last season. Fine was sitting at home watching the playoffs like the rest of us.
Like, I wanted me to talk about this Bree Turner signing, but there's really nothing to talk about. So, Bree Turner did not look good on this guy, specifically because we did not need bigs to come off the bench to play defense. We needed bigs to come off the bench and get a freaking bucket. And for me, like, the craziest thing, as I've said before in previous videos, like way back in the season, Bree Turner didn't look that bad coming off the bench, right? The issue, again, is that she came off the bench and played defense. Girl, we need you to come off the bench and get a freaking bucket. And when she did get a bucket, she was efficient at it. She was the most efficient big that we had on the Sky, period. But she just wasn't going out there to look for her shot. She was going out there to be essentially like a passer or just play defense. Like it just really, again, like that's not what we needed specifically on.
Meanwhile, Fever fans were already talking reckless. Y'all can keep Angel Reese. We got Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Brianna Turner now. The disrespect was loud, and Chicago had no immediate comeback. Because really, what could they say? Well, at least we still have... Who? Who? Because the free agency tracker wasn't looking too kind. At this point, Sky fans were watching the rest of the league move like kids watching their friends get new toys. Indiana got Turner. Even the Aces made some moves. New York was stacked. Even teams like Dallas and Minnesota were making moves. And then there was Chicago, standing in the corner, trying to convince themselves that one player could do it all.
So in what might be the biggest surprise in all of free agency, the Indiana Fever have just signed Brianna Turner. Yeah, I think that this is a shock. I don't hate this. I actually don't hate this for the Fever.
Of course, Angel Reese wasn't backing down. She was already talking about how she thrives as the underdog, how she feeds off of doubt. And you know what? Maybe she does. Maybe she takes all this shade, bottles it up, and turns into a menace next season. But let's be honest, she's gonna need help. Because right now, Indiana's looking ready to run through the league like they've been holding a grudge. And Chicago? Chicago's looking like that one friend who says, "We don't need a plan, we'll figure it out." But where did that get them last season? Oh, right, sitting at home. Indiana Fever isn't just here to make the playoffs. They're here to take over. The front office took one look at their young core, saw Caitlin Clark sitting there like a cheat code, and said, "Yeah, let's go all in." Now they've got Natasha Howard, Sydney Colson, Sophie Cunningham, DeWanna Bonner, and Brianna Turner. At this point, they aren't building a team. They're assembling an army.
The Fever did not come to play. They are on a mission to win now, like 2025 championship season incoming. They were so quiet during free agency. And in the past 24 hours, boom, boom, boom. Re-signed Kelsey Mitchell to a max deal. Picked up Natasha Howard, bringing her back to the Indiana Fever, where she was originally drafted. And then they just announced a three-way trade, sending Alyssa Smith to Dallas and Sophie Cunningham coming to the Fever. This team in 24 hours just got exponentially better.
Stephanie White isn't playing around either. She sees what she has in Caitlin Clark, and she's making sure the Fever don't waste a second of her rookie contract. No, we're building for the future talk. No, let's be patient nonsense. Nope, Indiana is trying to win right now. And looking at this squad, they just might pull it off. Natasha Howard brings championship experience. DeWanna Bonner, a walking bucket who knows how to win at the highest level. Brianna Turner gives them elite defense, and Sophie Cunningham, she's bringing that energy, talking trash, hitting big shots, and making sure nobody disrespects this squad. And let's not forget Sydney Colson, the ultimate locker room glue, keeping the vibes elite while still being that player when the moment calls for it.
Like in our industry, if you're not a competitor, you're not going to last. And it doesn't have to be to win at all costs, right? It's just how you do what you do every single day. Like for me as a human being, like if you're leaving your shopping cart out in the middle of the parking lot, I'm judging you. You're not going to be on my team, right? Like you're not going to be on my team. If I'm watching you and you're on the end of the bench with bad body language and not being a good teammate, like I don't want you on my team, right? It's not really about how many points you score. It's not about, all the stats and the numbers and the figures. It's, are you giving everything that you have every day? And it's about being a good human being. Are you a good teammate? Are you helping your teammates up? Are you a good sport? Are you shaking the hands of the opponent? All of those intangible things. Are you looking people in the eye when they're talking to you?
But let's be real. The moment Stephanie White took over, this became Caitlin Clark's team. And she's got a coach who's ready to maximize her. None of that ease her into it nonsense. Clark's getting the rock and the green light from day one. White knows she's coaching a generational talent, and she's making sure Clark has every weapon she needs to succeed. Meanwhile, the rest of the league is looking shook. A'ja Wilson already felt some type of way when the Fever started scooping up free agents. Now, she might need to hold a league-wide meeting just to figure out how to stop this madness. Teams that thought they had time to prepare for Indiana's rise are now scrambling, realizing the Fever aren't asking for permission. They're just taking their spot. And the fans? Oh, Fever fans are thriving. They've been waiting years for this. No more rebuilding. no more playing for moral victories. Now they get to talk spicy. We're coming for a ring, they're saying. And honestly, they might not be wrong.
What Steph White is doing and what the Fever organization is doing is nothing less than phenomenal, in my opinion. They are taking this young, talented core that they have, you know, with Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark, and they're adding veteran players that Stephanie White has already worked with. Let's talk about that too, and has chemistry with and knows the work ethic of. And they are building this super team, make no mistake about it, that is going to give you
Because this isn't just about making the playoffs anymore. This team has depth, star power, defense, shooters, and a clear direction. And with Clark leading the charge, Indiana Fever isn't coming just to compete. They're coming to win. Aces fans are spiraling. Their beloved MVP, A'ja Wilson, woke up, checked the latest free agency news, and probably just sighed at this point. Yeah, no one is with her again. And while Wilson is still standing tall like the queen she is, she's looking around like, so it's just me, Jackie Young, and vibes now? Meanwhile, Indiana Fever is out here snatching players like it's Black Friday at a sneaker store. Nobody is safe. Nobody is off limits. One day it was Brianna Turner, then DeWanna Bonner, then Natasha Howard. At this point, Fever GM might just start making offers to coaches too. Hey, Becky Hammon, you busy?
I think that's kind of what everybody talked about when we were in the playoffs last year of, we really didn't have much experience at all playing in playoff games. I don't know what the exact number was, but we really lacked in that area. So just adding pieces of, players that have been in this league, they know what it takes to win, they know what it takes to get to the finals, they know what it takes to win championships, I think is exactly what we needed in our locker room. So it's just exciting, but also they're not only really good basketball players, they're really great leaders and really great people. And I know the front office obviously really prioritized that and looking for the pieces that we wanted to add. So really thankful for that as well.
And let's talk about Angel Reese. She thought she was just dealing with losing Brianna Turner. But now she's watching Indiana treat the rest of the league like a buffet, taking whatever they want. And she's realizing this is personal. Aces fans are crying, but Sky fans, they're in denial. We still got Angel Reese, they say. Oh, okay. And where did that get y'all last season? Exactly. But the real comedy? The absolute best part of all this? Remember when Cheryl Swoops boldly said, "Players don't want to play for Indiana?" Yeah, let's revisit that real quick. Cheryl, girl, are you seeing this? Because at this point, Indiana Fever is collecting talent like Thanos with the Infinity Stones. Nobody wants to play in Indiana? Then why does it look like half the league just packed their bags and moved to Indianapolis? Cheryl might have to issue a formal statement because this take aged like milk in the sun. And now the whole league is watching in disbelief. Teams that thought they had time to build are now side-eyeing their rosters, wondering if they need to panic trade just to keep up. Because if this is the Fever's year one of going all in, imagine what they'll look like when they really figure things out.
Last 4 championships in the NBA, all of those have been won by teams that have great chemistry, that have stuck together over the years. You have Boston last year, you have Denver, you have the Milwaukee Bucks, you have the Warriors who stuck together in a year that in 2021 that they thought that they wouldn't win again. So that's a testament to chemistry, cohesion, how players get along. That stuff is very important, and it's sometimes more important than just on paper the skill that you have on the court. So I'm so glad that the Fever front office is thinking about all of these things. And like she said, they're hand selecting these players.
Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson is just sitting there, holding what's left of her roster, watching players leave, and probably thinking, y'all really gonna make me do this by myself? She might have to drop a "I'm him" monologue just to remind the league that she is the Aces. But let's be real. The balance of power is shifting. And the Fever? They aren't just here to compete. They're here to take over. Indiana Fever is not playing around. If there was any doubt before, go ahead and erase it. This team is officially dangerous. Every move they make, every player they steal, every upgrade they add, it's all leading to one thing, a championship run. With this latest signing, they're only getting stronger.
Unprotected contract. It'll be an unprotected contract. So as of right now, this is definitely, she is signed, sealed, and delivered on the team. She said who she played for again. I believe she played for Chicago. Somebody said with what money. I kept telling y'all, man, they got the money, bro. Like, why y'all think they ain't got no money, bro? Somebody said my head is still spinning and all the rest. Whoa, welcome to the Fever, Brianna.
And let's be real, other teams are stressed. Asia Wilson and the Aces, fighting for their lives after losing key players. New York, still stacked, but now looking over their shoulder. Chicago? Well, they're trying their best. Meanwhile, Indiana Fever fans are out here sitting back, sipping their coffee, watching the chaos unfold like we told y'all to be ready. This team isn't just built for now, they're built for everything. Caitlin Clark at point, dropping dimes, running the offense, and probably pulling up from half court just because she can. Aaliyah Boston, an absolute force in the paint, bullying defenders like it's personal. Then you add veterans like DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Brianna Turner. Players who know how to win, know how to defend, and bring championship experience. Yeah, good luck stopping that. And don't forget Sophie Cunningham, ready to bring fire every single game. Trash talk? Check. Clutch shooting? Check. Unlimited energy? Absolutely.
Top 5 reasons why the Indiana Fever will win the WNBA championship this year, 2025. Now, it's not 100%. We're not suggesting that, but I'm willing to put my opinion out there anytime I feel it's more than 51%. And I think it's similar to Caitlin Clark winning the MVP chances. I think it's around 75%. So that's just my personal opinion. It's not a sure thing. So don't come back to me and said, hey, I guaranteed it, because I didn't. I didn't guarantee Caitlin Clark winning the MVP either. But I am willing to go out there and make this video because I'm pretty confident they have the best team.
Winning isn't just possible, it's starting to feel inevitable. Because let's be honest, if Indiana Fever keeps moving like this, they aren't just playoff contenders anymore. They aren't just a good team, they are officially a problem. And when the season starts, the rest of the league is going to find out real quick. Indiana Fever is here to take over. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.